opened my eyes, but like I couldn't move. And then at the foot of my bed, like it started to just like fade in.
Nah.
Yeah, it was like a tall figure, and then he had like a hat, but he had like no eyes, nothing. It was just the silhouette. And then like I started to panic, and so my body woke itself up out of the anxiety, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And so taking a couple of years back, my cousin, I don't remember which cousin, but he told me the story about how he was never able to like sleep properly because he would always see like either before he was going to sleep or while he was asleep or in the middle of the night that there would always be like a tall man with a top hat resting at the foot of his bed or at the doorway. And it followed him for years. And even like, I don't know if I'm butchering the story, but like even like later on with his girlfriend, that like she would like sleep over and she would see him too.
No.
Yeah. Like one time apparently like she slept over and then the next morning she was gone. He called her like, yo, why'd you leave? He's like, well, I got creeped out because I saw like this thing, right? Okay, so take this in, right? Like months later, I'm recording my podcast with my homegirl, right? And she's very like spiritual, like open her third eye. She has so many encounters, like gone through like monks and Buddhists to like bless stuff for her. And she's been through it all. She was telling her stories on the podcast and I was getting chills. So I was like, you know what? I'll open up. Let me like tell the story. So I told her a story. And while we were recording one of her like our friends were there in the room with us and she was like listening in. And when she heard my story, she was like, yo, it's crazy because she explained her experience with the tall man. Yeah. And then as she was explaining, on the door, on camera too. I still have it to this day.
The top man guy came out.
And then I turned into the top man guy. No. And then so we heard 3 knocks, all stopped. We like all like dead silence. And this is when I was still like my mom was living with me at the time.
Yeah.
And so I opened the door and I was there. And then I go to my mom's room. She's asleep.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So we're like, this can't like. What is? And I know it wasn't them. Because you can hear it from the door. We all look towards the door, and I have the footage. And every time like I try to go back to edit it, it's just so eerie.
Ew, oh, because it's
like the feeling, like I feel it in my gut, and my gut feeling, I never like doubt my gut feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just it feels like a pressure on my heart, you know?
You know what they say though? They say if you speak about certain spirits, they'll manifest and come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm just saying like, cause like you know how my friend, she's super sensitive to all that stuff. I feel like that's why
it follows people
it was
like
finally
that.
allowed to like show itself because we were expressing its presence and it got more like, you know, in tune with where our conversation was.
Because they follow people that can, I guess, communicate to that other realm.
Because they're trying to get out.
See, a lot of people are saying when we tell these stories like about the top hat man, that shit's fake. But fam, there's another person that literally goes through that shit.
And I didn't even know you guys talked
That's
about
what I'm
that.
saying. So
Sure.
that's why it's so crazy. And like, do you watch a lot of horror movies?
I used to. Like during COVID, I remember there was a time when I was so bored, I just watched a bunch.
Yeah.
But like before, like I hated horror movies. Like I was like a pussy.
No, but like
I don't like horror movies still to this day though.
But like what you said, like if you watch all of those like stuff, you might summon some bad energy too. Cause like cause I remember hearing like a story. There was like this family right from Ecuador, and every like I think it was Friday night, they would watch like their horror movie. So they would have a session, right?
So it's their thing.
Yeah, that's their thing. And I don't know why, but one night they said that they felt some bad spirit come upon them.
Oh shit.
And so what they did, they were like, okay, when we have the session next week, we'll set up a camera, right? So there's literally a video. When they set up the camera, you can see them shaking and stuff like that. And in like the couch, you see a black figure like swipe their hand. And so they all jump up. They're like, what the fuck?
That would be creepy.
And I'm telling you, the water bottle on the table flung across to the couch. And listen, when they tried to exit the room, the door wouldn't open. Like they were stuck in there.
What do you do in that situation?
You call in a priest, like what they did.
You have to pray, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can. Look, if you're dealing with spiritual shit, it's up to spiritual shit to fix.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything physical no more. Personally, that's what I believe.
Or when you're locked in, you start a podcast.
Just set the table.
Yo, that'd be a hard one. That'd be a hard one. Yo, we should do that.
Get me out.
Yo,
So like,
we should run that.
yeah, that'd be crazy.
So
That'd be a
like,
crazy one.
Yo, just like, get me out. And then it's just like, So what do you guys like believe? And it's like, or imagine like, I don't know, like this might be different. Like obviously, like it might be more of like a cinematic like episode more than a podcast. Like what if it's like you're all trapped in, but it's 3 different people who have 3 different religions, 3 different beliefs, and so people take it in like
different. Like, I guess
because like what if someone's like that's not religious, doesn't believe this, like is in a group of 2 religious people in different rooms? Like how does that conversation go?
That's interesting. So that's like those cut videos.
Yeah. Like find the mole, find the atheist who's Catholic. Yo, have you guys seen that one episode?
The gay
like,
one?
No, it's like find the girl. Oh no,
What?
figure out who's not a girl, and it's like a dude that
Oh,
can like
yeah,
change their voice into like a girl voice. He's like, my name is Rebecca.
And I think he won too. I think
No,
he
no,
won.
I don't think he made it. I
Oh, he
wasn't
didn't
sure.
make it?
No.
So do you have the video?
Oh yeah, you want to see it?
I want to see yours.
Hold on.
That's crazy.
You guys want to see the
Right.
video? They'll replay it. This is them just watching the movie. See that?
Oh, I saw that.
You saw that? So the replay. Watch closely. Look, they're all just reviewing the gameplay. The debrief. Boom. See? And then like bam, shits are flying across the room. They couldn't exit the door. Look. Pillows are moving. They finally get out. And then they call a priest the next day to completely bless the house.
No, that's fun. It's because I think when you bring in that energy, that's what settles.
Yeah.
You're asking for it.
Yeah.
Why do you think like spirits are so strong though? Like, to the point where you can't open doors. Like why?
Well, if you take it in, how do you know we're not just spirit?
Word. What if we're like interrupting in their realm? You know, like that goes back into like the frequency stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like some people think ghosts are just people glitching, like people's frequency glitching into where we are. Which makes sense because why do you only see ghosts like it's never like full on for like 5 seconds? It's always the glimpse. And you never know what you really saw.
Like they glitch back out.
Yeah.
Have you ever had those moments where like nothing's around you but you feel scared?
Yes. All the time. But is that anxiety?
No, that's what they say is like the ghosts are in your presence.
But maybe that's why some people have anxiety because they're more sensitive.
Maybe.
Because my friend who is more sensitive about that stuff, he has like more like anxiety stuff. And
Like she
not
gets-
like to put her stuff
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there
yeah.
like that, but just to see the facts of how it is.
Yo, so you ever read the book Think and Grow Rich?
Yeah.
So
Love that book.
this is like an entrepreneurship book, and it's all about manifestation, right? One of the biggest points they made in that book was if you could almost give the idea of something, it gives it life to happen.
Yeah.
So in my head, and I think this is how movies work too, when you give an idea to a scenario happening, or let's say I look at a picture, or I look at like the ceiling,
Yeah.
and it looks almost like, oh, it could be the shape of a dog or whatever. What if this is gonna sound crazy, but what if the idea comes to life in that realm
In like the realm of like
ideas? If that makes sense.
like
I don't know if that.
like your ideas have its like own frequency. in
No,
a way.
like so the moment I say, this stick is a sword now,
Yeah.
and there's other objects in the room. Does it give life to other things because that idea was set in stone? And because if you think about it, every single thing in life is an idea.
Yeah.
Every single thing.
That was
Like this was an idea first. The mic was an idea first. The podcast, us speaking, are all ideas. So I think the moment you give it, what if it just manifests to itself? Or even it just like opens doors to other realities.
And you get to pull it in. It's like in
That's what I always thought like manifestation was though. It's as much as it is spiritual, it's more like coding yourself to make it real.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what it is.
Because I think the greatest power of humanity is creation.
Yeah.
As much as people say like in different religions, oh like gods are created, like he created us, and so we can also like create things. Because humanity created like everything. Think about it like that, you know, like you create all the technology. That's a superpower in itself. Yeah, to create electricity, like things to make fire. You know, like we don't have like the superpowers to actually make fire in our hands, like fireballs. But
Well, we can have the idea.
we have like the idea to create the bomb.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, like who would think like we can make a city-wide explosion? You know, that's just an idea though, right? But to be able to make that idea into fruition,
Yeah.
like with science and whatever, that means like, would you think like anything is possible, pretty much? You know?
I think that's how it is. I think like even if it's not meant to be, if that idea is not meant to happen in this realm, it happens in another. So like let's say you paint a picture and you paint like people that are strangers that don't even have a real person attached to them. Once you create that picture, that painting, does it create its own story once it's finished? And you know how you go to an art gallery and people like interpret it,
Yeah.
and people have their own ideas. Does that make them real?
I guess so.
Because there's ideas are set onto them, right? Or there's like, I guess, manifestations that are set, what they could be doing. And in that realm of like, let's say you are that person in the painting now. I know you can't like move and shit, but let's say spiritually you are that person in the painting. Are you now whatever the painter said you are?
Are you the idea? Are you the concept?
Are you the concept? And what if that's what we are, like humans in general?
We're just an idea of like something, but we just don't know what we're the idea.
You don't
of,
know who we
because
are.
We don't know how we're perceived as, you know. That makes sense because like, I was gonna say something, but it totally slipped. But like, I don't know, man. It was crazy.
No, because it's fucking mind blowing. Because I always think, shit, are we just meant to exist, or are we meant to find out?
Like to like figure stuff out.
Yeah, or are we just meant to like live and exist, or are we meant to solve something?
Okay, I got my idea back. So speaking on that, like somebody told me, shout out my boy Vincent, he told me that like ideas are all out there waiting to get out, and they're just traveling through different people to find the person that'll bring it to life. You know? Because like you ever have like a sick idea and then you sit on it too long and then somebody else comes up with this exact same idea and it pops off and blows up. But that's like, that idea has been moving around the world and it's been like itching to like be real.
Yeah.
And it found its like vessel.
It's a living thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like a living thing.
Do you think an idea is almost kind of like spiritual then in a way?
Yeah.
Kind of like how.
Because if you bag it like this, this where it gets mind blowing. Ready? If you bag it, the idea of Emson or the idea of what Gavin is, you create it. So, like, you're literally forming the idea of who Gavin is, or the idea of who Carlos is for me, the idea of who Emson is. Like, that idea is living through you. So it becomes.
You create like what you are, pretty much.
Yeah, like it becomes, and that's the idea.
And that's
Necessarily.
like what manifesting is, right? It's like you see that version of you, and then you're gonna like do everything in your power to become that version of you. So the person you are in 10 years is an idea from the present.